Every now and then we get an exotic that really makes you want to do the raid. Now, I'm not going to say that this year's raid exotic is meta, but by God, does it have some amazing synergy. Today, guys, we're going to be looking at the Root of Nightmares raid exotic Conditional Finality, which is a shotgun, which was like the last thing I was expecting. No lie, I was halfway expecting yet another exotic glaive. Now, I know in the moment you probably heard shotgun, you probably thought, hey man, not worth my time. Hold up now. Let us dive into this weapon because it's got something for both PvE players and for PvP players. First up, it comes with the exotic perk Split Decision. Dual barrel split into stasis and solar damage. It's actually very interesting, guys. When you're holding the weapon in your hand, when it has ammunition, it will show the left side being solar and the right side being stasis. The aesthetic here is beautiful. Now, some of the perks on this weapon are pretty unique, including the barrel perk, which is shortened barrel, greatly improves handling at the cost of range. It also has alloy mag as its magazine perk, and its trait is paracausal pellets. Landing nearly all stasis pellets will freeze targets, and landing nearly all solar pellets will ignite targets. Now, a couple things to take away, guys. First up, this is essentially a double barrel shotgun. The left side being solar, the right side being stasis. But when you actually shoot it, it's one shot at a time. It only holds 2 rounds, despite its magazine size being 5. Don't even look at that. Like, I don't even know why that shows that. This thing only holds 2 rounds. The first round is always stasis. The second round is always solar. Now, interestingly enough, the reticle actually changes. The first shot, you have this triangle reticle. This indicates that you are now shooting in its stasis form. But the moment you shoot and it drops to 1 round in the mag, this converts to its second reticle form, which is just a round reticle. But that indicates that it's now shooting in the solar form. Now, the questions I wanted to ask, does this synergize with our subclasses? As in, for instance, if I was rocking Ice Flare bolts on Warlock and I got a stasis shotgun kill and froze the target in the process, would shattering that target proc Ice Flare bolts? Turns out, absolutely. Matter of fact, it synergizes with everything. All of your stasis fragments, the first shot on Conditional Finality synergizes with everything in your subclass, whether it's Whisper of Shards, Whisper of Chains, and a number of other fragments, guys. The synergy here is intentional and beautiful. Now, the other question I wanted to ask, does this synergize with our Solar 3.0 subclasses? Most notably, Ignitions, amongst other things. Why, yes, it does. Matter of fact, I was running around, proccing Ignitions left and right, and it was benefiting from things within my subclass. Even fragments like Ember of Empyrean, which state that solar weapon or ability final blows extend the duration of restoration and radiance. This too, on that final shot, can proc Ember of Empyrean. But even further than that, you've got fragments like Ember of Char, where your solar ignitions spread scorch to affected targets. Well, hell, proccing ignitions with this shotgun is easy. Literally just line your shot up and you're good. Now, the other question I wanted to ask, can I stun champions? Does the stasis shatter effect with Conditional Finality stun an unstoppable champion? Yes, it does. Matter of fact, this shotgun is made for unstoppable champions, considering it can do both ignitions and shatter. So not only do we have a shotgun that can synergize with stasis and solar, both with our subclasses, our aspects and fragments, and a number of other exotics. Yes, even the likes of Path of Burning Steps and Firewalker will proc with that final shot of Conditional Finality. This weapon is made to be utilized with a number of different builds. On top of that, guys, the damage is respectable. The one main drawback to this weapon is, number one, it's a shotgun, so you got to be in pretty close territory of your enemies. And I know a lot of my PvE players are like, yo, Cross, I'm just gonna get stomped to death. Fair enough, but you can freeze the target. That's the beautiful thing here, guys. You don't have to be within optimal range. As long as the majority of your pellets are landing, you'll get the freeze off. But the other drawback is the fact that this weapon can only hold 2 rounds. That is a bummer. Currently, right now, I do not see an exotic catalyst on this weapon or anywhere in the database. With that being said, I can't help but love this weapon because of how unique it is. Now, you probably notice its impact is there at 80, which is actually the same as 4th Horseman, as well as other precision frame shotguns. And despite what its rounds per minute is showing, it is not a rapid fire frame by no means. It's pretty slow. And the reload speed is also slow. But I actually wanted to see this inside of PvP. How does Conditional Finality hold up? Honestly, guys, it's not bad. I landed a few double kills, both with the stasis shatter and the solar ignitions. And in situations like this, where you push into a group of enemies and you kill one enemy and suddenly you're able to chain stasis abilities or solar ignitions, depending on the shot you're utilizing. And I don't know what it is, guys. It's just mesmerizing landing those kills. No, the kill range isn't just something crazy. However, there was a few times that I definitely landed a shot outside of range, as in I wasn't able to get the one-hit kill, but solar ignitions still procced because I landed the majority of my pellets. Now, I'm not really sure exactly how many pellets are necessary to be deemed the majority. It is 12 pellets here, and I'll have to do some extensive testing with someone to really narrow down how many pellets is required exactly. But I will say this, guys, it's fairly forgiving. The only issue I have with the shotgun find inside of PvP is that there is somewhat of an awkward stage when going from the hip and aiming down sights. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the slow handling. Maybe it's the fact that that reticle disappears and it's just this wide open space here. And you're looking at the weapon. You're like, yo, I got 2 barrels. Which one do I aim with? Neither. You literally just aim right down the middle, guys. Don't complicate it. But I will say this, it is easy to complicate. But if you can master conditional finality inside of PvP, I think it can grant you a lot of multi-kills. Overall, guys, this is a very unique weapon. I've been enjoying it. Big shout out here to All Might for landing this role. Unfortunately, my RNG has not blessed me, but I did want to leave you with one more thing, and that's actually the lore on this shotgun. Conditional finality. You will dream of me. I will never leave you. The sound that escaped me resembled a roar, a psychic echo. It soared through the air and pierced every corner of my ship. Anger coursed through me. As I toppled the ground in a heap, I wheezed with each breath and clutched at my chest. I watched that witch sought her out like she'd won. My ship rumbled as she wrested her primordial prize from it. I felt hatred, deep, unchallenged hatred. My claws punctured the floor, etched new patterns into it. I dragged myself forward. Whispers danced around me. Trillions of voices melded together in my favorite symphony. I'd always welcomed death, and this time would be no different. An agonizing sensation shot through me. It was as if an arrow had bored its way through my chest. It burned, and I collapsed among the rubble. A green hue enveloped me. I was unfamiliar with this, her magic festering within me, shackling me. My body twisted. My breaths grew thin. My limbs became heavy, torturous. No, she could not hold me. I would not allow it. This would not be my end, my witness, I whispered, as the void I once commanded claimed me. So I don't know if you're in the lore, guys, but we actually got some juicy details from the raid, and Conditional Finality gave us a first-hand account here from Nezarec, and essentially who he's talking about is Savathun. Yes, that's right, Savathun herself. She was the one that put it into Nezarec. No lie, Savathun is pretty bad. 2 for 2 on Disciples here, and I'm sure we're gonna have something from Bai for Mylan here soon, but I just wanted to share that lore piece here on Conditional Finality because it's really cool. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think. As soon as I get this weapon for myself, we'll be developing some builds. In the meantime, if you happen to get it, try it out, fellas. It's got great synergy across the board. It's a hell of a unique weapon. It's so addicting, landing those double kills inside of PvP, whether it's from stasis related kills with that shatter or those ignition kills. And guys, really, don't sleep on ignitions. They can snag some hellacious multi-kills inside of PvP. Again, don't be thinking this shotgun is gonna just completely shift the meta for you, but I am hopeful that with the right setup and the right build, this unique, sexy shotgun will have a place in in-game. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.